name is David Taylor. I'm one of the welding teachers here at Streator Township High School in Streator, Illinois. We have right now, our whole school population is a little bit under 800. We've probably got 250 in our welding program, and 40% of that 250 is young women in the welding program. The young women who weld, it's not normal from what I hear. When I started here 8 years ago, we had 4 women in the whole welding program. Now, as I said, we got 40%. I've tried to make our welding program a program for everybody, not just guys. I want everyone to feel welcome here. We've made a point to get women into the welding program, so we bought smaller gloves. We bought ladies' welding coats that are tailored to fit women better. This is what the ladies said, "Hey, Mr. Taylor, we need this." I'm like, "Oh, heck yeah, let's get it." So I try to make a point that we have some laughs and joke around, but we also make sure everyone feels welcome and safe here. So that's, I think, why we've also been able to attract a lot of women to the welding program. The women are good at it. I encourage them to consider it as a trade, and we've got a lot of jobs in the area. One of the local factories in town, they told me their third shift has more women on the third shift welding than it does have guys. So the opportunities around here are fantastic. Well, from a practical point of view, I'm 55. And from what I've been reading, guys and gals my age, we're looking to retire next 5 to 10 years. And for every 5 of us that retires, they say only 2 are taking their place. So from a practical point of view, we need more people in the trades. But it's also kind of I'm an anti-debt kind of guy. So I'm not against college. Mike Rowe from 30 Jobs, he's one of my heroes. Sometimes coming out of a college with $100,000 in debt, that's a hard pill to swallow. So a lot of times with the apprenticeships, trade schools, community colleges, they're a good, solid path. And that's why we encourage them to pursue that. The money's there, the work is there, the skills are there. And this is what I also tell the students. They don't care, the employers, they don't care if you're black, white, brown, male, female, gay, or straight. They just want to know, can you show up, do the job, and do the job well? And if you can do that, you're gold. You know what here's what I tell everyone. Give it a try. Doesn't mean you have to choose it as a life career. I joke to some of my students, I thought, hey, I want to learn how to make wood-fired pizzas. And so I got a job a few summers ago making wood-fired pizzas, and I realized I didn't like it. I liked eating them better than I liked making them. So I tell them, I said, it's okay if you don't like it. It's not for everybody. It's smoky, sometimes it's hot, it's dirty, but just it's also an art form. But how do you know unless you give it a try? And that's what I tell them. Give it a try, and if you don't like it, there's no harm, no foul in that. It's not for everybody, but you'll never know it unless you give it a stab at it. So that's what we do. When that light turns on, it's a really good feeling that it's just, you celebrate that win. I can't sometimes tell if I'm more excited for them or if they're more excited, but it's usually a lot of high fives. Sometimes you get some hugs, and I've even had some kids struggle, and they just couldn't get it. And we sit down together, we stay a little bit later, like study hall, or they come in earlier and they finally get it. And I've had a number of kids they were so happy that they got it, they started crying. So it meant a lot to them. And then just to help them do that. And then a lot of my students here come from really tough working class backgrounds. Money's real tight, home life's not as good as it could or should be, and then they get out of here with a skill and they get a really solid, good job, and then they realize, oh my gosh, I'm not as stupid as I thought I was, kind of thing. I can actually do this. And then to see that joy in their life by learning a trade, and that they have the option to maybe get a nice future, have a nice family. And I tell them it's not always about the money, but I said, yeah, it helps, but it's just having some pride in what you do. So it's a good thing. This is the best job I've ever had in my entire life. Yes, they're not your children, but after a while you kind of see them, a lot of it, as your own kids. Kind of like when they're hurting, you feel that hurt. You want them to succeed. You don't want them to fail. There's some really hard days, and you hear some really hard stories about some of what's going on in their personal lives. But then you're here for the wins. You know, they come back, they send you Christmas cards, they come back and share their first jobs, and you know, you hear all kinds of great wins, and it does make you feel good that you're changing their lives for the better. Some days it's brutal. Some days the job's like, oh, why am I here? Why am I doing this? But that's far and few between. Most of the time, I got the best job in the world, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, truly. I'm just blessed that the school was, the Blue Collar Tour picked us. We did the happy dance kind of when we found out that they were coming here. I'm just blessed that we were picked and that the kids wanted to be here, because if it wasn't for the kids, I wouldn't be here. And it's just, yeah, I love this school. I love the community. I love my coworkers, and I love being around the kids. It's best job in the world. That's all I can say.